Hello, I've just done a workout, so I am looking muscular and handsome and just pretty incredible on General Armour. I've got some jokes I want to go through with you, so here we go. What did the Spanish firefighter call his three sons? Jose, Hose B, and Manguera contra Incendios. I watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix the other day. I have one note. They should have called it Black Reacher. Women have stripped men of almost everything we once took pride in, but there's one thing they can never take away from us: the ability to jet wash the skid marks off the toilet bowl with our piss. I sucked my thumb for several years when I was a little kid. My mum put stop and grow on my thumb in order to stop me from doing it, but I'm so stubborn that I train myself to enjoy the taste. What did dinosaurs use in their nuclear weapons? Fossil material. Did you hear about the all-you-can-eat place that puts garlic in everything? It's called Buffet the Vampire Slayer. Did you hear they're making a race-swapped, gender-swapped, being able to see swapped, being alive swapped superhero movie? It's called Stevie Wonder Woman. What do you call the 1984 pogroms which followed the assassination of Indira Gandhi? Hide and seek. My mate told me that he wanted to kill his father and eat his mother. I said, that sounds a bit Oedipal. Did you hear about the stand-up comedian who kept having stillbirths? She needed to work on her delivery. What's the official dance of race traitors? The Candice Owens. Did you hear that Candice Owens is going to star in the reboot of the Hugh Laurie arsehole TV doctor show? It's called House Negro. Bodybuilding has got to be the most racist sport. Just look at the second half of Arnold's name. And how about this pose? This pose is one of those ones that's a bit you do one of them arm movements as a bodybuilding pose. I don't know how they get. Seems a bit Volkswagen Mineshaft. Seems a bit Wright's Crystal Knacked. I don't really. I saw people calling out Kalasenko for doing it, but I defended him because his arm wasn't at a right angle. All straight men are straight with caveats. My caveats are Magic Mike, obviously. Ryan Gosling, mostly in that one that's like Crazy Stupid Love. That's a pretty sexy one. And then Mike Coulter in Luke Cage is also, it's a lot. If AIDS was the gay plague, why didn't they call it Gades? Or the Gag? Or homosexual pox? Did you hear that they've exported the Cilla Black light entertainment show to China? It's called Supplies, supplies. The new Matt Walsh documentary, Am I a Racist, was originally going to be titled, Am I a Complete Fucking Idiot? Amazingly, every single person who watched it has left a review on IMDb. I was surprised that all 4 of them were literate. Those are all the jokes I wanted to go through with you, all very enjoyable, I think you'll agree. I'm looking pretty muscular at the moment. There is a couple of gentlemen just at the back of my property who are sort of looking in my direction when I stand up and get within the eye line. But these are just the things we have to deal with when we are incredibly handsome and muscular and existing in this world at this current moment in existence. Let's go back over the jokes presently. What did the Spanish firefighter call this? So the normal thing of Spanish firefighters calling their sons names are, you've got 2 sons and they're called Jose and Jose B, because Jose is like a normal Spanish name, right? And it's also like a hose A and hose B. So you got those 2 names as their sons. And then I thought, like, what would the 3rd son be called? And then I sort of Googled Spanish for fire hose, and that is Manguera contra incendios, which I'm pronouncing with perfect Spanish accent. There's no way you could possibly attack me for not being able to pronounce stuff in a Spanish accent, so get out of here immediately. The second joke was I watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix. I enjoyed it greatly. I think it's a great film. It's basically like a Jack Reacher story, like this sort of muscular lad, very dangerous man, ex-military, comes into town, he's minding his own business, doesn't want any trouble, thank you very much. But the local sheriff, the local people want to bother him. And why are they bothering him? Because they just feel like it and they're bumperclots. And they should have really left him alone, because he busts them up, he smashes them up real good. And so that's why it should have been called Black Reacher. Women have stripped men of almost everything. So there's a thing where men, real manly men, real testosterone-y men want to claim that women have stripped them of everything that they used to take pride in, that they used to have all the manliest jobs and now women are taking those jobs from them, that they used to be able to walk around like Billy Big Bollocks and now they have to walk around and be a little bit more mindful. But we always have the ability to piss the shit streaks off a toilet bowl with our jet wash powers that women can never, compete with, because they have puny piss coming out their vagina and we have manly piss coming out of our gigantic penises. So we always win that battle. Thank you very much. I did suck my thumb when I was a little kid. I sucked my right thumb, and so it was complicated when it came to learning to write. I had to kind of like write. I ended up basically writing with my thumb in my mouth, so it was kind of a complex scenario. My mum did put Stop and Grow on my thumb. I don't know if that product exists elsewhere in the world, but yeah, you would have thought it does. It's basically, it tastes disgusting. So the idea is that you put your thumb in your mouth and you're like, oh, that sucks. But I enjoyed sucking my thumb so much that I was like, I'm just going to do it anyway. And it wears off, like you suck your thumb for a bit and the stuff comes off. So I kind of got used to the taste. I didn't really enjoy it massively, but I carried on sucking my thumb. And then I just grew out of it like everyone else does, and it was all good. But that was that. What did dinosaurs put in their nuclear weapons? Did dinosaurs have nuclear weapons? Is it a conspiracy theory? We will have to discuss it another time. But fossil material would surely be the stuff that they would use. We currently use fissile material, which of course is highly enriched uranium and plutonium isotopes. So the dinosaurs would use fossil material, because it sounds like fissile material a little bit, but that is that one. Did you hear about the all-you-can-eat place that put its garlic in everything? I am pretty proud of this one because Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a great TV show. I enjoyed it greatly. I think it's amazing. But Buffet the Vampire Slayer is a great name for a restaurant that put garlic in everything. The race swap, sex swap, being able to see swap, existence swapped superhero film starring Stevie Wonder, a dead man who could not see, playing Stevie Wonder Woman. Help, Stevie Wonder Woman, I need your help. I'm currently in a pickle. Can you come and save me? Well, I am a dead black man who can't see, and I'm playing Wonder Woman in this scenario, so I don't know if that makes any sense. But there's controversy amongst idiotic conservative evangelical Christians, where they get extremely upset about race swaps which go from white to black. They don't get upset when race swaps go from black to white or non-white to white. So just do some research about race swaps both ways, because I think if you do some research you will find that it happens both ways. And who cares? It doesn't really bother me either way, unless we're talking about a historical figure who was black or brown or non-white, and they are suddenly portrayed as white in this situation. I do not like that. But yes, I pushed it to its logical conclusion of having race swapped, gender swapped, being able to see swapped, because I think the thing is, like, bringing people back from the dead on film is a thing. So the idea of doing that in a TV series I found to be hilarious. What do you call the 1984 pogroms? There has been a long history of Sikh massacres, and they're never funny, so I don't know why you're laughing at that. But the 1984 pogroms following the assassination of Indira Gandhi by her Sikh bodyguards was pretty horrific, and something like 3,350 Sikhs were massacred during that horrible time. And it's an ongoing problem. There are anti-Sikh organisations who go around victimising Sikhs on an ongoing basis, and it probably should stop, because it's not very nice. My mate told me that he wants to kill his father. The Oedipus complex is the scenario in which men want to kill their fathers and have sex with their mothers. So in this scenario, I suggest that a person wants to kill his father and eat his mother, which would be like Oedipal. So I think that's a pretty good one. Did you hear about stand-up comedian? Stillbirths is not a funny topic to laugh about, is it? Let's face it. But yeah, it needs to work on. I was thinking like the punchline needs to work on your delivery, and then I was like, well, a person who keeps on having stillbirths really needs to work on their delivery. So I feel like it's a good joke. It's just a bit sort of upsetting for people who have had stillbirths or have had experience involving trauma of that nature. So not necessarily the funniest thing ever. What's the official dance of race traitors? Candace Owens is a race traitor, of course. She hates black people more than you could possibly imagine. There is a thing that is kind of tragic about Candace Owens, because she was the victim of racist abuse when she was in high school, I want to say. If you just go on her Wikipedia, you will see that when she was in school, she received several voicemails from her classmates of a racist nature, and her family sued the school, and they didn't really get much money. I was like sort of surprised how much they sued the school for. It's like a few grand, but yeah, you kind of feel like if a person has been the victim of racist abuse, then surely they would be more understanding of other black people who have gone through racist abuse. But apparently she just doesn't give a shit. She just hates black people so much, and I don't really understand it. The thing of the house Negro was one term used for black people back in slave times, when the black people who worked in white people's houses were treated in a higher caste scenario than the people who worked in the cotton fields. So they kind of looked down on those black people, and maybe they were race traitors at that time. So now, when black people are race traitors, they are sometimes known as house Negroes. So that is why that is a thing. Yeah, I mean, racism in bodybuilding, I don't know if it exists, but I just feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger's surname does contain the second half of that surname does sound pretty racist to me. You can't get away with saying that word, so how dare it be in Arnold Schwarzenegger's surname? It's pretty fucking hilarious, I think. The bodybuilding pose where you do that thing is it's pretty brutal, and I like sort of googled all the different bodybuilding poses. If you like Google what are all the different bodybuilding poses, like the classics come up, like the front double bicep, the side chest, that one, the that one where you're like doing abs and thighs. There's many varied poses, but the one that doesn't come up in the list is the Nazi salute. So I don't know why that's the case. It should just be called the Nazi salute because it basically is at this point. But Urs Kalasenko, he is German. His nationality is German. He is of Polish descent. So he does that pose. He does it very well. It's a very lovely pose, and he has a fantastic body. But I commented on this post on Instagram that it wasn't at a right angle, which of course is the Third Reich was Nazi Germany. So that's why that is funny. Yeah, and the Volksgemeinschaft, the Reichskristallnacht Act, I enjoyed learning about Nazi Germany in school, and there's lots of terminology that only applies to Nazi Germany. So if you invoke these terms when discussing things, then everyone is on the same page that you're talking about Nazi Germany. So that's that. All straight men are straight with caveats. I feel like if you watch Magic Mike and you come away with it thinking, I wasn't attracted to Channing Tatum at all in that film, you are lying. There's no way you're telling the truth in that scenario. If you watch Crazy Stupid Love and you watch Ryan Gosling being incredibly handsome, there's no way you can think like, he's a bit of all right. And the same thing with Mike Coulter in Luke Cage. I just feel like, a very handsome man, very muscular man. He's got big arms and a handsome face and all this kind of stuff. I feel like talking about being straight and, appreciating dudes who are very handsome should be normalized, should be a normal thing that men do. I'm a real manly man. I'm as straight as they come. I'm as straight as an arrow, all the rest of it. But I can admit, like you need to admit, like it's a crime that you think that another gentleman is attractive. It's a very strange situation that we find ourselves in. Women have no issue with this. They will point out that other women are attractive, very beautiful, all the rest of it. But men are stuck in this paradigm of having to proclaim that, in fact, they have never been attracted to men. It is impossible, and I'm never going to admit to such a disgusting thing. If AIDS was a gay plague, which Ronald Reagan was famous for saying, he fucking loved AIDS so much because he thought it was going to wipe out all gay people. He laughed at the idea of journalists in his pool perhaps being HIV positive and perhaps dying of AIDS. He was a demon. He was a horrible person who should have never been president because he was a fucking piece of shit, racist arsehole, homophobe, everything else. He's a scumbag. But if it was a gay plague, surely it should have been called Gades. Surely it should have been called the Gaig. I don't know. I think the best one is homosexual pox because it's like smallpox. So I think that's another good one. The Cilla Black Lights Entertainment Show. It was called Surprise Surprise. It involved Cilla Black, who was a light entertainment superstar in the UK. Real big deal. Apparently a real piece of shit. Like, she was a horrible person. But she presented this program called Surprise Surprise for like 16 years or something outrageous. And it basically involved her getting people on the show, normal members of the public, normal, Billy Vanillis, and they'd come on and be like, why am I here? And she's like, guess what? What's your wildest fantasy? And they're like, well, I've got a brother, but I've never met him because our parents separated us both at birth. They gave each of us half a medallion. And if we come together and the medallions become one, then we form a superhero team and we go off as two brothers, causing mayhem, causing destruction, creating a beautiful, utopian world. So can that ever happen? I don't think so. And Cilla Black would be like, guess what is happening right now? Here he is. Here's your brother with the other half of the amulet, and now you're gonna go off and be superheroes. We're gonna film you. We're gonna live stream it on TikTok. We're gonna live stream it on YouTube. So off you go now. See you later. But if they exported it to China, it would surely be called supplies, because they cannot pronounce those words. There's an ongoing thing. There's a classic thing that Joe Rogan does. He does a real good impression of Chinese people where he does the horrifically racist thing of like ching chang chong, bing bang bong, all this kind of stuff, where he puts on a Chinese accent and it's very disgusting and racist and puerile and makes him look like an even bigger idiot than he actually is. But they can't pronounce many English words in the same way that English people cannot pronounce many Chinese words correctly. So saying that they could never pronounce surprise, and they would say supplies is of course hilarious and racist. But in Germany, they called it surprise, die Brustannel show. In Italy, they called it caramba, che sorpresa. So all different countries called it different things, and long may that continue. The new Matt Walsh documentary, Am I Racist?, should have been called Am I a Complete Fucking Idiot? He is one of the biggest idiots to ever exist in the history of the universe. There is a great clip currently doing the rounds on YouTube, on many social media platforms, in which he is in an interview with two conservative fucking pieces of shit on a TV show, and they talking about Haiti and the fact that some Haitian people maybe should come to America in order to escape the chaos mayhem that has been occurring in Haiti. And his rejoinder was, I don't think anyone thinks that America should be more like Haiti. That was his thing. And one of the hosts, the male host, basically schooled him on the history of Haiti and perhaps the last couple of 100 years of, Western imperial powers punishing Haiti for their successful slave riot that ended up in them being a sovereign nation, is the reason why they are now a essentially third world country, and they're suffering greatly and keep on getting hit by natural disasters and not getting helped. And the Clintons have also subjected them to severe punishment for lols, I guess. But the other problem with that is saying that the last thing anyone wants is for America to be more like Haiti. It's like a non sequitur. If more people come from Haiti to America, that doesn't mean that America is going to become more like Haiti, because it's not the people's fault that the country has ended up in a horrible position. It is, in fact, the US governments and other Western governments who have systematically subjected them to horrific treatment and monetary punishment for their previous actions. So, yeah, he's a fucking idiot. And the Daily Wire keeps on creating these ridiculous documentaries and programs and stuff like that, where it's like, his last one was, what is a woman? And it's like, he's just asking these dumb questions because he's a dumbo, and he loves wearing wigs, he loves dressing up in disguise, because underneath it all, he is a drama school kid, I guess. He's like, wants to be a drama school kid. But anyway, he's a fucking piece of shit, and should get in a bin, really, and stop existing, to be honest. Anyway, those are all the jokes I wanted to go through. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna go off now and do some other stuff with the rest of my day. You take care. Peace.